everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark. My father said that he went to an unnamed store that sells like home goods.
Okay.
And he said that it was all filled with Christmas stuff. And it's October.
Yeah.
This is unacceptable.
Honestly, I'm surprised that Halloween didn't get as big of a showing that I feel like it normally does.
I think it did. It just got it in August when it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
These people are getting ridiculous with how early things are happening.
Honestly, in August at also an unknown store, there was already Christmas stuff up. I know what store, but I'm not going to call them out.
It's ridiculous. Until Thanksgiving Day happens, you cannot. Christmas should not be happening. It should not.
After Halloween, I feel like it's acceptable.
The day after Thanksgiving, you can start Christmas stuff.
That's really late.
No, it's not. It really isn't. That is not.
You only get 1 month.
No, because if you
Christmas
celebrate Christmas properly, you should go until the second week almost of January.
Well, why are we talking about Christmas?
Because I find it ridiculous that these companies continue to push things so early. It aggravates me.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just wanted to complain about that.
Okay.
People like it when I get upset about things and complain about things, so here we are. This is what's going to happen. People say they like to hear me complain about stuff. Well, here we are. I'm complaining about something that drives me nuts.
Okay. You also should have a good dad joke. Do you remember what you were supposed to say?
I don't, but I have another one. I forgot the dad joke that I had. I was like, it was such a good dad joke, and I forgot it.
You forgot
it. But I do have a good
it.
one, too. I
kind of forgot it, too.
Okay, so what are you getting mad at me for?
No, it's going to come to me. It's going to come to me.
I have no idea what it was even about. I can't remember for the life of me. But I do have another good dad joke. You know, the audience asks for these things, so I just give the audience what they want.
I just wish we could remember the one that you had, because it
was good.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh, what is it? Shh, don't tell them. Tell me. No, you can say it. It's okay.
No, I don't remember the whole punchline. It's from the Muppets.
Oh, it was from Muppets
it
Haunted Mansion.
was the repossessed.
We watched the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, the Muppet version.
Which is very good. I think you should watch it. Not ask about it. I think you should watch it.
Don't just ask about it. You should probably just watch it for yourself. I think you should ask about it.
I'm sorry.
Ask your remote control, if you have one of those.
You should. To watch the Muppets Haunted Mansion. It is legitimately... The Muppets are always funny, but it is legitimately funny.
A funny segue while Mark figures out the dad joke that was supposed to be in there. The first time we watched it, we did not have our son yet, and it was just us. And he was like, hey, the Muppets have the Haunted Mansion. And I am a really big fan of the original Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy. I haven't watched the new one. I'm just not sure about it because I just really like the original. But he was like, hey, Rachel, there is a Muppet version of the Haunted Mansion. Now, I am going to say this, and people might disagree, but I am not the biggest Muppet fan.
Boo.
I think some of the things are really funny. I think some of the skits are really funny. I just didn't grow up on them. I just don't really get the hype of them. But I know they are funny because a lot of their skits are funny. So I was like, that's fine. We started watching it and literally not even 5 minutes in, Mark is literally cackling at the jokes and I am just like, it is not that funny.
It is.
We talked about this last year on the podcast, I feel like. Cause
I don't know if we did or didn't.
I feel like this is deja vu moment for me.
It's very funny and you should watch it. The joke was, what happens when you don't pay your exorcism bill?
What happens?
You get repossessed. Come on, that's good. And
anyways,
it is fitting for Halloween.
It is fitting for Halloween.
Yes,
but
you'll hear Fozzie and go shaka waka.
Waka waka. Whatever he says.
Shaka waka.
Shaka?
Shaka waka.
Mm,
Shaka waka.
whatever. See, again, I don't watch The Muppets, so I don't know.
You're lost. Shaka waka. Anyways, I have another one.
Okay.
What do you call a hippo in Budapest?
A hippo in Budapest. I don't know.
A Hungary hippo. Shaka waka.
No.
Come on, that's good.
No.
Budapest, Hungary? Never mind. Anyways, what are we talking about today? Not about this stuff, clearly.
Stop. You always make me look like I'm, like, stupid. I'm not. I just don't think they're funny. Some of them are kind of funny. But that one was like, ha, ha, ha.
The people love it.
Sorry, the repossessed one was funnier. Anyways, today we're going to talk about roller coasters. And this was a listener... What do you want to call it? A listener...
Request?
Yeah. Maybe that's the word I was looking for. Idea is what I was going to say. And they wanted to hear our ideas on it. And we did do something on roller coasters already, but we talked about like the scariest rides.
Talked about the scariest rides, not roller coasters.
But roller coasters were in that a little bit. So we did talk about some roller coasters already. But if we want to talk about just roller coasters, that's what we're going to do today. Mm-hmm. There's not many. There's more than I thought. And there are some that I don't know, I feel like we could add to the list, but they're not technically a roller coaster, if that makes sense. For thrills.
This is for
thrills. Like, you
Disney,
know what I mean?
This is what Disney describes as a roller coaster type ride.
Right. Type.
That's what they say.
I know. I'm just saying.
Space Mountain is a roller coaster type ride.
Okay, but
it's
listen.
Like that's the type of it. It's
but
a
listen,
roller coaster.
I'm going to put this out there now. Tiana's Bayou is not in this.
That's correct.
But I somewhat want to disagree with that because it does go onto a track at some point, and that is a pretty big drop. So I feel like
it is still classified though as a water ride, and a water ride is different than a roller coaster. Okay, so I do understand your point that does go actually onto a track. Bet you didn't know that. Maybe you did. But during one of the interior drops of that ride, now I think in Tiana's it used to go into the laughing place back in the day when it was Splash Mountain. Now it kind of goes into when you like blow up into like all the little like you become microscopic and everything gets really blown up big around you.
I don't know.
That is
I haven't even watched
the part that
I haven't even watched videos on it because I don't want to know until I ride it.
But you go up onto a track briefly on that hill.
Yeah. Anyway, so
but this
isn't just thrill rides. So you might not hear some of your favorite like thrill rides because we are just talking roller coaster type rides.
Yeah. Sorry.
What? Go ahead. I was gonna say all have a track.
Sorry, Tower Terra.
Sorry, Avatar.
And Avatar and Dinosaur. You do not qualify as a roller coaster type ride according to Disney. So we're using Disney's thing.
Yep.
Disney declares there are 9 roller coaster
9 of them
type rides. And we are going to list them out, each of us in our own stead.
Yep. We have not seen each other's list.
The bottom to
number 9. I do feel like we're going to match on some
Oh,
things.
If number 9 does not
match. Yeah, if number 9
then
doesn't match, then I think then
you may have to sleep outside tonight. Yeah. I'm just joking.
Wow.
I would
imagine. Anyways.
Disowned.
So, what's our number 9?
Barnstormer.
Yes, it is the Barnstormer. This is
nothing against this ride.
No, it's I guess we'll say this isn't for children. Let's put it this way, for families.
Well, Barnstormer is for children.
I'm saying our list of things.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Our ranking of these is not based on children or family or whatever. This is literally our personal...
And it's not based on any scientific or any kind of fact
it's just our
or anything.
Personal opinion.
This is our opinion. If you don't like it, tough. It's an opinion. which
It's
means
just our
it's
opinion.
our thoughts.
Yeah.
Which means if you think that we're idiots, you have a right to think that we're
That's
idiots
fine.
for thinking this. But it is our opinion. So you can't be like, you're wrong because it's my opinion. My opinion's not wrong.
Right. I just wanted to
Your
say
opinion's wrong if you think my opinion's
Mark,
wrong.
Stop. I was just clarifying because we do a lot of things on families and best for kids and all of that stuff. But no, this is our personal adult thrill level opinion. And I feel like I'm a little more thrill seeking than Mark might be, but in terms of roller coasters and stuff. Obviously in Disney there's no like crazy high drops or like, you know, wicked corkscrew, like all that kind of stuff like that is
Wicked.
different. But
Your
there are
Boston showing. Wicked.
Sorry, very, 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 and it's just not the same. You have to say wicked. So anyways, yeah. So this is an adult perspective on our favorite ones. So,
Just our perspective.
But we're adults.
We are. Maybe. But regardless.
Sometimes.
It's our perspective.
Anyways, Barnstormer. This is your very basic roller coaster meant for the first roller coaster experience a kid has. So obviously last on our list, it is not very thrilling. It's fun, I guess, if you ride
It's done
with
in
your
45
kids.
seconds.
It's very short. It does the job of, you know, getting kids that experience and that little feel of that stomach drop and stuff. But
I do think that we may have talked quite a bit about this on our like best things to do with a preschooler, but this is like the right roller coaster to start your kid on. Like it's short, it's not long, it's not super thrilling.
yeah, so if they're like terrified,
it'll give
it's
them
over.
a good feel for what they're like, but it's not going to also be like a traumatizing first experience. Hopefully not. For some,
I don't know, maybe for some.
For my niece, I think it was.
Oh,
But we learned that she didn't like roller coasters.
well, there you go.
So.
Again, it's a learning experience, roller coaster. All right.
Number 8.
I might have Rotten Tomatoes thrown at me.
You probably will.
I probably will. But my number 8 is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
That's my number 8 too.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Also, nothing wrong with this ride. This is a great ride. The technology on this ride is amazing. I love the fact that the carts that you're in,
It
like
is
your
really
cars
fun.
swing.
It's a really fun coaster. If I'm just thinking of like which ones I definitely want to ride again and again, this is just not one of them for me. I feel like I can ride it once or not at all. Like it was fun to ride the first time when it was brand new and the new technology, and maybe once on a trip I'll definitely want to get on it, but after that one time, like I feel like I might be good, you know?
It's a short ride. The technology on it is pretty amazing, though. The animatronics are really cool, especially in the mine scene. It is just kind of like once you start going and you're getting into it, then you're slowing down to go through the mine scene, and then you're speeding up again, and then it's over.
I feel like
such a quick ride.
If it was faster, longer, or you didn't have that mine scene, or I mean you did, but you went quicker through it, I feel like I might like it more just for the thrill of it, because I feel like when it's going, it's going. It's really
and you're
fun.
rocking like the
like
cars
it's really
rock
fun.
back
There's
and
just
forth
not enough. Yeah, just not enough thrill for me. I wish it was a little longer with a little more of those rocking moments. Anyways, number 7. I said the last one, so now it's your turn.
I have Slinky Dog Dash in number 7.
Really?
I do.
I have Tron.
What? That's low. Wow. Okay, so Slinky Dog Dash, we'll start there because I think that's more reasonable. But anyways. Slinky Dog Dash is in Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios. This is a really kind of neat ride. Like, I like it. It's thrilling to a certain extent. Again, it's a good ride for kids, though. Yeah. This is not the scariest ride that you're going to ride. It's not the most thrilling ride that you're going to ride. Is it a fun ride? Yes. Do I love this ride? Yes. Do I want to ride it every time I go to Walt Disney World? Yes. But is it one of my rides that it's a go-to for me? Frankly, no.
Yeah.
So if I have to rank them, it's nothing
Yeah.
against this. Again,
Yeah,
don't take this personally. If Slinky Dog Dash is your number one ride, don't take this personally.
It's amazing.
It's
we
just
love
for
it.
me, if I have to rank them, I don't dislike it, and I like this ride, in fact. I just think it's at number 7 is a good place for it.
Okay.
Explain yourself with Tron that low.
I honestly think it's way too short. I wasn't comfortable in the seats, or as comfortable as I would have liked to have been. And I just feel like it was a lot of hype for, I don't know. It just really didn't do it for me, and I don't really know why. Like, it was really fun. But it was really, really short. And I just feel like more could have been done.
I don't think it's that short. I don't get
know.
it when people say it's really short.
I just feel like it's over in like a second.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I also don't really get the theme behind it. Like, I know it's the movie and I haven't seen it. Like, I really have no like connection that way, like, to it. It's just kind of like weird. Maybe if I knew the movies, and then I would get it a little more, but I don't know. It's just not one of my faves, and I know people ride it over and over and over and over again. So I'm just not sure. I'm not saying I wouldn't ride it over and over again, I guess, if I had the chance, but like, for as hard as it is to get on, I just feel like it doesn't live up to those expectations of like how hard it is to get on it.
Interesting. What do you have at number 6?
Why do I feel like it's your number 1?
It's not my number 1.
Okay.
We'll get there. Number 6.
I have Slinky Dog Dash as my number 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have Thunder Mountain as my number 6. So Thunder Mountain...
Okay, it's really not that far from where I put Thunder.
It's nostalgic for me. I think it's a very cool ride and a cool experience.
Yeah.
It's got a decent length to it, I think. It has a decent amount of thrill, but it's so positional specific. If you have to sit in the front,
Yeah.
which I'd never suggest, it's good for a child perhaps to sit in the front because
Again,
it's
an
much
intro to
slower.
roller coaster, yeah.
But the ride experience is so different between the front and the back that it's kind of tough if you get placed more towards the front, because you have to be placed more towards the front and they don't let you wait for
Just
a back
so
car.
happened. Yeah, it's kind of a ride.
It's kind of a dud.
Yeah.
It's not as thrilling. If you sit in the back seat, oh yeah, no, this is an awesome ride. It's one of my favorites. I also think this is one that I like better at night, too. I think it's more thrilling and a much cooler and more prettier ride and experience at night. And I would like to see, and they said that they are going to do this, so I'm waiting for it to happen, but I would like to see some of the new additions of, like the explosions that happen on Thunder Mountain in Disneyland, like some of those technological differences and like some of the
that's what I was going to
too.
say when I was going to try to interrupt you. I was going to say the ride itself is not pulling, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of fighting with like gravity a lot more on this ride than other coasters that pull you the whole time, and you kind of get that same feeling no matter where you're sitting. So I think it could just be just the type of it, and then technology updates and that kind of stuff. So yeah, but Slinky Dog, I mean, I concur with everything you said. It's not high on the list, but it's there, and it's really fun at night. If you want to ride it at night, more thrilling, much better.
It is another ride that's fun at night too, Slinky Dog. I didn't make mention of that.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
It's definitely an added bonus at night, definitely. That view at night over the big hill is just spectacular.
And the track lights up, and it's a cool effect.
Yeah,
so.
It does have cool effects. Number 5, middle of the road. I have Thunder Mountain.
I have Tron.
Interesting. I mean, I really thought the way you reacted to my Tron, yours was going to be in like the top 3.
No, but I just feel like, would you have it at 7?
Yeah.
7 feels low. I would put it at middle of the road. I think this ride technology is cool in the sense that it's not a traditional roller coaster ride. You're doing something different. It does hurt my back, frankly, to sit on those light cycle. If you're not familiar, you kind of like sit on a motorcycle car, two of you, two aside basically, and you sit on it, and you kind of have to like sit up like you're on like a down bike,
but then
almost
you have to
like you're
up.
on like a speed bike.
Yeah,
one of those things.
On a bike,
and it does kind of hurt. It hurt. Like I got off it, I'm like, oh, my back's kind of sore after riding that, but I do think it's a cool experience.
No,
different perspective on rides. That launch at the beginning is very thrilling. I think that first section where you go outside the building and take that big curve and then the drop there,
like where all the blue is.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And it is short, but honestly, I don't know how much longer I'd want to sit on those ride vehicles than you already do.
Actually, a very fair point.
So I think it's kind of an appropriate length for what it is. So
I just feel like there was just so much hype behind it that it was gonna be like this, like, I don't know, like over the top thrill, and it kind of disappointed me personally. It was a little bit of a disappointment in the thrill aspect. I think the launch is cool. It was fast. It was fun, but it wasn't like what I thought. I don't know exactly what I thought, but I think I thought the position would make it more thrilling, and I don't think it did. It hurt.
Do you want to say anything else about why you put Thunder Mountain at number 5?
Kind of the same as you. It's definitely one that I want to do every time. Now that we're at like number 5 and up, I'm going to do these every single time, if not more than one time. I like Thunder. It's the nostalgia. It's quirky and fun, like with the goat and just like other like little things.
It's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
It's just fun. It's a really good middle of an adult coaster meets a kid coaster. So you still have the thrill in the back, like you said, but you can also still, have smaller ones ride it and still be okay. So I feel like it's the perfect all-in-one coaster to be like right in the middle.
Sure.
All right. Number 4. It's your turn. Is it my turn?
I think it's your turn.
I have Space Mountain. Are you disappointed?
A little.
Okay.
Not a lot, but a little.
Okay.
You're not far off from me, but that is, I think, too low for Space Mountain.
Okay.
I have Rock and Roller Coaster at number 4.
Really?
I do. So
Rock and
Roller Coaster Hollywood Studios. This is an older ride, but I think it stands the test of time. One, Aerosmith, pretty awesome when it comes to rock bands. You get to listen to their music on the ride, which is really kind of a cool element of that ride. The launch sequence at the beginning is extremely thrilling. So if you're really looking for thrill-seeking things, this may be one of the top tier rides of thrill seekers in Walt Disney World.
And this is the only roller coaster that does go upside down in Disney right off the bat too. You get launched full force, 60 miles per hour. Feels faster than that because it happens in 3 seconds? Not even.
I think it's 0 to 60 and for 3-point-something seconds or something.
It's really fast, so you're really stuck against the back of your seat, and you go right into going upside down.
Yeah.
So you have a few other corkscrew-like things in there as well, but as far as going completely upside down, it does do that once. Do you go
more than
all
once.
the way in a corkscrew?
Oh yeah, you go into a corkscrew.
I meant like in a loop. You go in a loop again? Another one?
I don't remember. I think you may.
You don't know because it's dark in there.
It is dark.
And
it's cool with all the lights, and it's a cool effect, and I do like the fact that you're listening to Aerosmith music as you're on it. It's got a very cool theming. I like the whole, you're getting the backstage passes and all that kind of stuff. What happens when they get
rid of Aerosmith?
Who knows? I don't know. They keep saying that they might, and they're still there, so I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's a very cool theme. The whole backstage, you're on a stretch limousine to get to the concert on time.
I liked when the actual person came in to get the guitar and not just like the person in the video.
Yeah, that was very early on.
Imagine having that job. Oh man, I got put at Rock and Roller Coaster.
My black Les Paul?
Imagine being like, oh yeah, I was. Where were you stationed today at work? I had to keep grabbing the guitar. I had to keep walking back and forth and grabbing the guitar.
How about some backstage passes? Hey, I love that idea.
It's kind of funny that over time, when there used to be a person there, and then like there used to be someone, air quotes, in the crowd that said that, and no one really knew, like when it was like newer and like and whatever, and then now they don't even like do that anymore. Like there's just no oomph to like the storyline anymore. It's like you just kind of walk in. Sometimes you skip that scene completely and you just go right through, and I don't know, I just feel like they don't give it any attention anymore, which is kind of sad to me.
I think it depends. It depends. But anyways, Rock and Roller Coaster.
But you can count on the Disney adults to say,
that's right.
How about some backstage passes? Don't worry, guys.
You're a number 4.
No, that was number 4.
That was my number 4.
Oh,
what's your number 4?
Space Mountain.
Okay.
I already said that.
Do you want to talk about it? You're talking about my number 4 rather than talking about your number 4.
Okay, mine's Space Mountain. As far as Magic Kingdom coasters go, for me, this is number 1. As far as thrill and as far as nostalgia and all that stuff. I don't know, I just like it. It's just number 4. It just says number 4 to me. It's in the dark. It's really thrilling. I'd have to say that the overlays in this are really fun, and this gets one every time. Other coasters don't get that. For different holidays and parties and stuff. Like
for the parties, it gets the overlays of the Halloween and then the Christmas overlay.
I just feel like they should do those all the time. Frankly, I feel like it should be just all lights out all the time to make it even more thrilling. I feel like this is a good place for Space Mountain because it's now we're stepping up after number 5 into that more thrill zone, I think. So we're now, for me at least, reaching much, air quotes, scarier or thrilling rides. But it's not my top 3. I couldn't put it in the top 3, so that's why it's number 4. But it couldn't be lower than that.
Well, I put it in the top 3. My number 3 is Space Mountain.
Ooh.
I think this ride is one of my favorites in all of Walt Disney World. I love the nostalgia behind it. I love the old track feel where sometimes like you bounce off the track and like sometimes like you slow down and like you hit the brakes and then you kind of like do that like bounce up off the track and you're like, oh my gosh,
we're
like,
gonna die.
Yeah, this is like pretty cool. Like you almost feel like you're flying through space
we're
and you're uncertain like if you
not
were flying,
going to make it.
And you're uncertain like whether you're actually flying through space, how it's going to end. So
or if something's going to hit you in the head.
It's pretty cool.
For me, I feel that way.
I think for a ride that does not go as that fast, it really does not go that fast in the grand scheme of things.
No.
It is amazing how thrilling that ride is. And every time that you ride it, it's still a thrilling experience.
Yeah, or laughing.
Even
or
though
both.
it's really not that fast, nor not that thrilling. It's just the atmosphere of it.
A roller coaster.
And I always kind of wanted to be... I always kind of wanted to be an astronaut, so similar to like Mission Space, like I like it, like
Space.
Flying through space. Like I think it's a cool concept. And to your point, I think this ride has some of the coolest ride overlays for the parties, whether it's the not so scary Halloween party where it's pitch dark.
I love that.
And they're playing like scary rock music, and it's really like,
and it's
oh my gosh,
really dark.
That is the most scared I've ever been
like
on that ride.
You're like very vulnerable.
Or the very, like, kind of fun Christmassy rock music and all the lights and stuff that they do for the Christmas overlay on the ride. I just think it's a very cool ride. I think it is deserving of top 3 position on my ranking. Number 3.
Wow.
Space Mountain. You're number 3.
Rock and Roller Coaster. So we just swapped. We just switched those places a little bit. Yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster. Number 3 for me. It's my top 3 of thrills. We already really talked about it.
Rachel doesn't like waiting for her turn. She just likes talking about it whenever it comes up. Number 2 then. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Everest.
So is mine.
That means we're going to have the same number one. Obviously.
Number 2, Everest.
Everest. All right. Amazing. Wish they would fix the Yeti, but it's fine.
They're never going to.
It's fine.
There's no way for
It's
them
fine.
to do it without taking the whole ride apart.
I know.
That's the reality. So.
Well, that was really lack of planning on their part, wasn't it?
Well, you know.
Like, how are we going to fix this if it breaks?
You
Yeah,
take
it'll
that-
never break. We
You
just won't
take that
think
up
about
with
it.
Joe Rohde, okay? It broke
I
the
know.
first.
Ridiculous.
broke before it even started, really.
Listen, he it's all right.
Now he's the disco
It's
Yeti.
fine. Yeah.
He lights up and it looks like he's
It
moving.
kind of does, yeah. No, it's good. No, it's fine. Really, really cool roller coaster. I like that you get to go backwards.
You do?
That's really fun. You don't go upside down, even though you sure as heck feel like you're going upside
you're
down.
going
I feel like
backwards,
people
yeah.
check their hair and stuff too to like make sure that you're not, because you really just get sunk down into your like the force, like the G forces of it, like really push it down into your seat. A really, really amazing main drop. I feel like it's like the perfect height and like steepness that like you still get that stomach in your throat feeling, but it doesn't last like too long, and that's really nice, I think. I also just like the whole storyline behind it. I think it's really cool for a roller coaster, but I'd have to say to put it at the number 2 over Rockin' is because it goes backwards as well as forwards
Interesting.
for me.
So you preference that over going upside down.
Yeah.
Interesting. So to me, the storyline in this is so incredible. Everything from the museum that you go through at the beginning in the queue line.
Listen, I have to
the
I have to make a
full-on
confession.
experience.
It was in my adult years walking through this line queue that Mark and I had to have the conversation that those things were not real. This is very embarrassing. Not the tent and like that ripped up and stuff. That's not real. Like I knew that, but more of like the footprints and all the other things. I really thought that those were real. So, no one can deny that there's no Yeti, but you can't really confirm it either. So, maybe there is a Yeti out there or a Bigfoot. I don't know.
There's no Yeti. Besides the one that's on the ride, which
Yeah.
is fake. Anyways. It is, though, it's a very thrilling ride. The backwards sequence, although you don't go backwards for that long, it is a very thrilling backwards sequence. And this is just such a cool ride. And if it was not for this newest ride that's going to be at number 1, this would be my number 1 roller coaster.
Yeah, I feel like
this
it would be
is
mine
one
too.
of my favorite rides in Walt Disney World, Everest. And
The
I just
only
think it's
complaint
so cool.
I have about Everest,
Doing it at night, too. I want to throw that out there. This is a general theme, but this roller
Everything's
coaster
better
at night tends to be better at night.
The only complaint, if there is a complaint, if you have rode this ride, you know what I'm about to say. It's at the very end, the stop. You have to brace yourself for it.
Oh, you know the brakes are going to do that.
I know, but
though.
that's like very abrupt. I feel like more than most coasters do.
You would think that they would fix that somehow.
You have to really, you really get thrown forward when you stop. But anyways, yes, very, very amazing. But not as amazing as our number 1. And that is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Are we gonna play like number
just
1
staring
music?
at me.
You usually have some kind of like I don't know, like I thought you were gonna do something.
Somewhat.
I don't know. Like I thought you were gonna sing a song or something. Do you remember? No? Okay. We got that song the first time we wrote it ever.
We did.
And people write it multiple times to get that song. So just meant to be, I guess.
This ride is very cool. The theming in it, the pre-shows that they have are amazing. Like, it's really immersive. The ride itself and how the cars themselves rotate to show you different elements of the experience in the ride is just incredible technology. It kind of gives you a whole new feel for roller coasters, and like
why aren't all roller coasters like this?
Right.
Every roller coaster would be better if it did this.
And like I like the fact that it's not just free spinning, because those rides that are like the free spinning ones tend to make me
like those like cat
dizzy.
and mouse, like the mousetrap ones that whip you and they just keep spinning.
Primeval Whirl used to be that tends to make me a little bit dizzy and sick feeling, whereas this did not.
I'm actually surprised by how much, like, because there is motion and there is screens, I feel like there's really not many people complaining about motion sickness. I feel like if you have like extreme motion sickness, then I feel like you should probably stay away from this one. But for the amount of screens that are there, it doesn't feel like I'm like looking at a screen, you know? Mm-hmm. It feels very real. It doesn't look like, oh yeah, here's a screen and I'm moving and I'm trying to watch something. And because it's turning you're not having to turn your neck to like look side to side, which I think also gets people motion sick, because you have to physically like move your head, and you don't have to do that.
I was surprised by how long this ride is too.
So long.
And the backward launch is very cool at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like that whole like feel of getting launched backwards versus forwards is something I've never like experienced on a roller coaster. It was very cool.
Intense. Much more intense. I don't know. I don't really know what I expected, but it was definitely more intense than forward. Like, I guess I've never been launched backwards, so I didn't know, but.
The largest indoor roller coaster in the world.
But yeah, the theming, the music, again, it takes basically I'm not my top 3, maybe because there's no Everest, but it literally takes Rock and Roller Coaster, Space, and like mixes them together. It's dark most of the time because you're in space. You get a launch of a thrill, like from Rock and Roller Coaster.
You go backwards like Everest.
There you go. You go backwards like Everest. So it takes my top 3. No, your top 3. Or Space. It takes 4, 3, and 2.
That's what it takes for me too, honey.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It takes the 3 spaces beneath it to make this major roller coaster. Which is
the musical
great.
Elements and not knowing what songs you're going to get at random is also like a cool effect. And like I like the humor that's sprinkled in it. Like I understand that that's kind of how Guardians of the Galaxy is. I'm not a huge fan of it. I still haven't
watched the movies, and I really want to, but you don't ever want to watch it.
I don't know. They don't do anything for me. But what does do something for me is kind of the humor that's also in the ride. So sorry, Ellen's Universe of Energy. You were fun while you lasted, but this ride is amazing, and I'm so happy that they replaced you with this. No offense. There are some nods to Ellen's Universe of Energy in the ride, too.
There are. Maybe we'll do a whole other thing of like little Easter eggs and things in another episode, you know?
Yeah.
So there it is.
Our top 9.
9. It should just be a top 10.
Well, there's not 10.
I know, that's really annoying.
Type rides. There's only 9. So
aggravating.
Those are the 9 rides.
Well, there'll be a new coaster coming to Hollywood Studios, so we'll see how that Monsters Inc. coaster
That's true.
does make it a top 10.
Who knows when that'll come?
No idea.
Also, I don't know, like, the Cars rides, if any of those are, like, roller coasters per se, if those are more like a test tracky thing. Test track is not qualified as a roller coaster type ride.
I feel like it's more of a test tracky thing.
It's qualified as
it's like the same thing, but it's like
ride.
Test Track, but Cars themed.
No, but I'm saying the Test Track itself is not qualified as a roller coaster type ride.
Yeah, no,
they don't call it
so
that.
the Cars ride, like in Disneyland, is just Test Track.
Yeah, but I don't know what they'll do in the new area of Frontierland. Is what I'm saying,
if they'll do a new
Kingdom.
thing, like,
yeah,
not what they have in Disneyland?
Right. I don't know what their thoughts are there. I don't know that we have any clarity there.
Oh, I thought we were getting the same thing as Disneyland.
I don't believe so.
Oh.
I think that there's 2 rides coming to Frontierland, and I think that they may be slightly unique and not carbon copies of what exists in. They may use that same ride system, I don't know, but that's what I'm saying.
Be a little different.
It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But anyways, lots of exciting stuff happening. You should always ride roller coasters at Walt Disney World. come on, why wouldn't you, right? Unless you really hate roller coasters, and then you shouldn't ride them. But everybody else should certainly ride them. And these are our favorites listed as we would. What are your favorites? Let us know how we did. Yeah. Let us know if you agree with us or if you think that we're idiots for listing them in the way that we did. You're wrong, but that's okay. You have a right to be wrong. Because this is all opinion based.
I think it's funny how most of ours are the same, like just flip-flopped by one, except for Tron.
Right. Which you give slight preference to versus,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's too low for Tron.
I
feel like that's middle of the road. 5, I think, is appropriate for that, but
what did we swap? Tron and Thunder?
I don't know.
Was Thunder your number 7?
No, Thunder was my number 6.
Oh, Slinky.
Slinky was my number 7.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, let us know.
Yeah. If
you like this, if you would like to see us do more of this kind of thing, like ranking things in our opinions. So, let us know if you like this episode, if you like this whole format of us like ranking our favorites of a certain type of thing or category of thing, whether it's a restaurant or roller coasters in this case or whatever. Let us know if you like it. We could do like a dark ride ranking or, like a kids ride ranking or something like that too, or our favorite restaurants ranking or like whatever. We could rank a whole bunch of things is my point. So you let us know.
Snacks, there's drinks.
Oh gosh, you and the snacks. Always go back to the snacks. She can't help herself. Snacks. It's always the snacks. Always the snacks.
I'm just saying of things you rank.
Anyways, you let us know if you like this format. We can definitely do more of these in addition to the other series and things that we've done in the past too. But as always, feel free to reach out to us by sending us an email at startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. You can also message us through our social media accounts, or if you're interested in booking your next Disney vacation, you can always reach out to Rachel at rmello@mickeystravels.com. And as always, folks, remember, it all starts with a wish. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.